There.
It says it's streaming live on YouTube.
Okay.
Watch live now, Equipment School District Board meeting, all right.
Okay. We'd like to welcome everyone to our regular meeting, April 14, 2020, 6 o'clock. At this time,
It's streaming live on YouTube.
we'll have a prayer.
School District Board meeting.
We'd like to welcome everyone to our regular meeting, April 14, 2020. Okay, hold just a second, I think. At this time, we'll have a prayer.
Watching on this.
Yes, ma'am, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready, Ms. McCormick.
Okay, we'd like to welcome everyone to our April 14th, 2020 regular meeting. At this time, we will have a prayer by Dr. Jefferson.
Good afternoon. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come once again in your presence. Just thank you for all of your many blessings. Thank you, Father, for how you have watched those and cared for us. And we ask that you continue to guide and lead us as we go through the pandemic of Corona. And we ask that you give us the strength, the wisdom, and the knowledge to make the right decision for our school. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. At this time, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands,
under God, indivisible.
Justice for all.
Okay, at this time, the April 14, 2020 Whitman School District Board meeting is being held via teleconference in accordance with Board Policy BCAD and Mississippi Code 25-41-5. The meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the district's YouTube channel. The agenda for the meeting was posted April 7th, 2020, 5 days in advance in accordance with the guidelines in the school district policy. The agenda stated the place, time, and purpose of this meeting. Dr. Holloway is present at the Quitman School District's office boardroom, and Mr. Compton is located in his law office in Meridian, Mississippi for purpose of this meeting. We will begin the meeting by establishing a quorum. Each board member who is present on the call, please state your name and place in the school district you represent. Ms. Waltman, we'll start with you.
I'm Cheryl Waltman. I represent Place 2, the Quitman School District.
Mr. Price?
William Price, Place 3, Quitman School District.
Mr. Skidmore?
Matthew Skidmore, Place 4, Quitman School District.
And Dr. Jefferson?
Louis Jefferson, Place 5, Quitman School District.
Thank you. Item B, before we adopt the agenda, I do just want to say a special thank you to Dr. Holloway and the Quitman School District, all the administrators, teachers, parents, for dealing with what we've been dealing with over the past few weeks, few days. I know it's not on the agenda, but we really do appreciate everything everybody's doing. It's a challenge, and everybody's stepping up to the challenge. And I especially also want to thank Shay, who's keeping everybody kind of with videos and posts and everything about what's going on in the district. So just wanted to say that thank you and appreciation before we get started. At this time, item B, adopt the agenda, and we do need to add, before we adopt the agenda, we need to add to executive session. We're going to move personnel, item I, to executive session.
We can take the discussion of litigation off, Ms. McCormick.
Take litigation off, so just personnel, okay, for discussion and executive, okay? Okay, with that change, can I get a motion
I
to
make a
adopt the agenda?
The agenda with the change of moving item I, personnel, to executive session and removing litigation from executive session.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second. Motion by Ms. Waldman, second by Dr. Jefferson, that we adopt the agenda with those two changes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. The agenda is adopted. Item C, approval of minutes. C1, minutes from March 16th for our regular monthly meeting. Can we get a motion if there's no corrections or changes?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Skidmore, second by Mr. Price. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Okay, item B, consent agenda. And items under this heading will be enacted with one motion, except that any board member may request removal of any item so designated. So otherwise, we get a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Price, second by Mr. Skidmore. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item E, presentations and requests to address the board. Item 1, P16 council monthly meeting update. They normally would do this, but because of the COVID-19 issue, they won't do that today. So move on to item F, orders, none at this time. G, bids, none at this time. H, financials. Item 1 through 6.
We just need to do, Ms. McCormick, we need to do 1 first, and then Ms. Johnson will update you all on number 2, A through H, before you adopt those.
Do 1 and.
By itself,
Okay. Okay, can I get a motion to, on H1, approval of claims docket claims number 52168 to 52268?
I make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Jefferson, second by Mr. Price. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item H2, approval of financial statement for February 1st through the 29th, 2020. Is this the one Ms. Johnson needs to?
yeah, yes, ma'am, we have to get a motion and a second, and then we open it up for discussion, and that's when she'll share information or highlights for you.
I make a
So-
motion.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Skidmore, second by Ms. Waltman, for approval of financial statements for February 1st through the 29th, 2020, items A through H. All in favor?
Oh, we have to do discussion. You have to open it up for discussion.
Oh, before we vote.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay.
Good evening. Just a few highlights on the financials this evening for period ending February 29th, 2020. Fund 1120, which you know is our general maintenance fund bank account. $6,104,079 is our ending fund balance for the month of February. That can be found on your statement of fund balances, as well as the kind of trend chart that I compute for you all and give you to the visual to see how our fund balance is faring. So we've been doing good. As we know, February is the month where we get large ad valorem taxes. So that's why you see it spiked from the fund balance ending in January, which was at 3.6 million. So we're at 6.1 ending in February. Another report I'll point out is your certification of bank reconciliation. That again signifies that the banks have been reconciled to the cash ledger as of February 29th, 2020, and you see those reconciled balances there. Again, at any time, if any board member wants to see detail of the revenues that have come in from month to month or year to date, as well as expenditures that have been expended year to date, feel free to let me know and I can give you the detail on that. I also want to take this time because normally in April, as you know, we'll do a April budget kind of work session to see where we are with the next year's budget. So with all of this going on, it's moving very slow, but I do have some figures to give to you just to let you know that we're continuing to do what we can do in the midst of what's going on, working towards finalizing the budget or working towards finalizing the budget for FY21. So to date, payroll, we've issued out certified contracts to all certified staff, but along with those certified contracts and their benefits, as well as the classified staff, we're looking at our payroll budget being around $14.6 million, which is in line with what it is this year. That does not include any teacher or teacher assistant raises. As you know, the legislature has been suspended right now, and we really don't know at this point when they come back if that's still going to be on the table. We hope so for the sake of our teachers and teacher assistants, but we know with all that's going on and the taxes coming in slowly statewide, we figured that that's going to be on the table for discussion to see if that can go forward, but that number does not include those raises. We are in the process of verifying and reviewing the at-will agreements for our classified staff. We hope to get those out fairly soon. And I mentioned about the raises. Non-payroll to that $14.6 million number, about 3.5 to 4.0 million will be added to the budget for 21, and that's what's allocated to schools and to departments for non-payroll expenditures. And also what will be added to this year's budget is our 16 section loan payment of $139,000. So that'll also be added to the non-payroll section of FY21's budget. Just to give you an update on where we are with our ad valorem collections, I ran the numbers and we've received $5.2 million in our operations request. That's the money that comes in directly so that we can use to fund the general operations of the district. And that's about 90% of what we requested. This time last year, we had only received 85% of what we requested. So it looks like we're receiving at a faster rate than we were last year, which is a good thing. What I did was I took what we received last year from April to June last year to see, if I can kind of project the number of what we may receive by June 30th. And if we receive the same thing that we received last year, April through June, we'll be at about 97% at June 30th. So it's still below what we requested, but closer to the number. But my projections are if we continue to receive our ad valorem request at a larger rate like we have thus far, then hopefully we will be at 100%, if not more. But again, in the midst of all that's going on, that brings a greater uncertainty to these numbers. But I just wanted to give you kind of like an estimated figure of what's going on in that area. Dr. Holloway also wanted me to look at some potential savings that we may have since we've been closed. We really won't know until the utility bills, because at this point, that's what we would be saving in is utilities, because all buildings are not up fully functioning at this point. This time last year, or I'll give you what we spent in February. February 2020, we spent about $1.4 million. And in March, we spent 1.6. So actually we spent more in March than we did February. But when I look back at FY19, looking at comparing February to March, we also spent more in March than we did in February last year. But we didn't spend as much. We spent 18% more February compared to March this year. And last year we spent 32% more. So there you can kind of see that we did spend less than we would have if we were on the same trend as last year. So when the rest of the March bills come and if they're paid, I'll continue to look at the numbers to see what kind of savings we had during this closure. So is there any questions, including you, Don? Because that was the first time you heard those numbers too. So any questions in that regard?
I have one question.
Okay.
Would we receive, I'm not sure if this is payroll personnel, but since employees are not technically working, will we get a break on workers' comp?
When you say a break, meaning?
Well, I mean, maybe a refund or not have to pay as much, or?
So if you're asking from the standpoint from when we get ready to go to bid for next year's rates, probably not, because we're still paying the same dollar amount out. They may implement something and I wouldn't know what that would be at this point in time, but since they did not physically work, maybe they'll take that into consideration. But usually they just want the dollars that were spent in payroll, and those dollars aren't going to change it because we're continuing to pay people.
I thought maybe since they weren't physically on campus that we might, have some kind of.
That would be an interesting question that I can ask. Yeah.
And Ms. Waltman, I think if there have been times where we've had increases because our payroll increased. So I think payroll dollars have to do with it more than sometimes the incidents.
Physically.
Your specific loss history does play a part in it, but unless your payroll significantly decreases, most of the time, they're not going to decrease. But we can certainly ask, though. I promise you we will.
Yeah.
I'll email Anissa and ask if there are going to be any savings associated with that.
It may be a public policy decision that would be made by the workers' comp carrier. There are a lot of private automobile insurance companies that are issuing rebates because of the reduction in drive time by all of the insured. So if you apply that principle or logic to it, it would seem like that they ought to consider a reduction.
Right. I had just seen a list of companies that were going to offer that on the home and auto and different things. And I just wondered about the business side of it.
Good question. We'll ask.
Definitely ask.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good suggestion.
Okay. Any other questions for Ms. Johnson? If not, now we need to vote, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on item H2, A through H, can I get a motion to accept the
We already got it. We just need to vote.
Oh, we already got it?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We got the motion in a second. We just need to vote.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not, the motion carries. Item I, personnel has been moved to executive.
We have to do 3 through 7 next, Ms. McCoy.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped the whole section. I'm sorry. Okay. Under financials, H3, approval of budget amendments for February 1st through 29th, 2020. You guys have a chance to look at those already? Okay, can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve those.
Motion by Ms. Waldman,
Second.
second by Dr. Jefferson. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, request to transfer 16 section principal funds.
I make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Skidmore, second by Mr. Price. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 5, approval of the release of 16th section shared revenue. We have a motion.
I make a motion, we accept that request.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Waldman, second by Mr. Skidmore. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, request to transfer 16 section interest funds. Can I get a motion?
Make the motion.
Second.
Can I, when we open it for discussion, Ms. McCormick, I'll explain to everybody. I talked to you, a couple of you, but when we open it for discussion, I'll explain what that's for.
Okay. Okay, who motioned it? Who second? I'm sorry, I apologize.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Who
Motion.
made the motion?
I did the motion.
Motion by Dr. Jefferson, second by
Second, Skidmore.
Mr. Skidmore. All in favor?
Oh, got discussion.
Discussion.
Oh, I apologize. Okay, any discussion? Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
Holloway, you gonna?
Yeah, so I wanted to let you know, I talked to a couple of you. I didn't know if I let everybody know. That's to purchase our teachers 75-inch, brand new 75-inch interactive panels for every classroom, with the exception of some smaller classes. What we will do for those smaller classes is transfer our newer smart boards into those classrooms. So every classroom will have up-to-date technology for teacher use in there. We've got a bunch of old smart boards. The bulbs are burning out. They are just really, really old. And these are big 75-inch screen TVs that kids and teachers can touch and do all kinds of technological stuff on it that none of us can do. So John is going to get a couple of more vendors in so the teachers can choose which one they want. We'll cycle it through because we can't have more than 10 people here, but the teachers will choose what they want, and that's what this money is for, is to buy them those interactive panels.
Okay. Anybody have any other discussion or questions?
No,
If
ma'am.
not, now we vote.
Yes.
Can I, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item A has been moved. Item J, old business.
Now, we-
J1.
Number seven.
Got
7.
Oh, I don't have 7 on mine. Okay, I guess I printed last night. That was the new thing added. I saw it though.
The section, our section 125 plan.
Item 7.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's the cafeteria plan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I ran this last night. Let me find it. This is item 7. Hang on just a second. I apologize. Unless somebody won't tell me what it is, I've got to look it up real quick. I remember seeing it, but I guess I printed last night.
We have one modification to the flexible benefit, our cafeteria plan for our
Mhm.
employees. We're doing a short plan year so we can move the plan year in accordance with our insurance benefits. So it'll be January to December, not April to March like it was.
Was that the thing that was related to the COVID-19
Yeah,
virus? Or is
yeah,
am I
this is
wrong?
adding the coronavirus information to that cafeteria plan. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything on that? If not, can we get a motion to accept that?
I make
Make
the
the
motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Skidmore, second by Dr. Jefferson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we move to item J. Old business, J1, final approval of new board policy, which we had our first reading in March, on March 16th, 2020. 1A policy DFEC, 3 meal notes.
I move we accept the approval, the board policy.
Okay,
Second,
motion by Ms. Waltman, second by, I'm sorry, who was it?
Price.
Second by Mr. Price. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item J2, final approval of revised board policy. First reading, March 16th, 2020. 2A, policy DE, debt limitation.
Motion to accept.
Okay. Motion by Dr. Jefferson,
Second.
second by Ms. Waldman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item K, new business. K1, recommendation to reschedule the July 13th regular monthly meeting. Everybody calendar that day.
Ms. McCormick, I think what we did last year was just move it to that Thursday. This is the one where I'll be at Mass.
Okay.
And I think we just moved it to that Thursday, if that's good. If everybody's
That's good,
calendar is good.
That would be the 16th.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that good with everybody?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's fine.
Okay. Dr. Jefferson, that work for you?
It'll work.
Okay. Okay, with item K1, recommendation to reschedule a July 13 meeting to July 16th. With that change, can we get a motion to accept that change?
Make a motion, we accept the change.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Waltman, second by Mr. Skidmore, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item K2, approval of temporarily suspend policy IHF for the 2019-2020 school year. And that one dealt with.
That's I sent you all that information at the State Board of Education, the graduation requirements, remember?
Okay, that's that, okay.
At their last meeting, they voted to change some and the amendments are listed there. I sent you all that information from last week.
Okay, yes, okay. Okay, can I get a motion for K2?
I make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Jefferson, second by Mr. Price, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item K3, approval of rescinding board policy IHFA-1 occupational diploma. And is that the one that done away with?
When we get to discussion, I'll explain.
Oh. Okay. Can we get a motion?
Make the motion.
Make the motion.
Okay, who made that motion?
Mr. Skidmore.
Motion by Ms. Skidmore,
Second.
second by Ms. Waltman, all in favor?
Oh, we got to discuss.
Any discussion?
Okay. Open discussion. I'm gonna get that one day.
That's okay. Board members, this is the Special Education Department. They no longer recognize or give out occupational diplomas. So that's why we're suspending this policy. The last class that was eligible for occupational diplomas was the 2018-2019 graduating class.
So this ain't a temporary, this is a final suspension?
Yeah, yes, sir. This is, the state no longer offers that occupational diploma.
So we're cleaning up the handbook, basically.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, any more discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Item K4, reschedule the annual walkthrough. Which would have been in June, not June, would have been when? This month?
Yes, ma'am. Would have been today.
Would have been today.
Okay.
Can I suggest a date, Ms. McCormick? If it's okay with the board members, I'd love for y'all to come in right before school starts, so you all can see the preparations of the buildings and see what things look like. That way you will still meet your statutory requirement for your walkthrough that day. So we could do that July the 31st, if that's good with everybody.
That's a third.
It's a Friday or the 30th, whichever one is good for you all, a Thursday or a Friday.
I'm fine with any of them. What's good for everybody else?
It's fine.
Thursday or Friday, which one?
Let's do Thursday.
All right, the 30th, that's it.
Okay. We scheduled for a walkthrough unless something else happens and
Yes, ma'am.
we just don't know. Okay,
Yeah.
do we need to vote on that? It's just a schedule change.
We need to vote on that. We need to make a motion on that.
I'll make
Okay,
the
I
Okay,
that
I'll
we,
make the motion, we change our walkthrough till the beginning of the 2020-2021 school year.
the 30th, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
second,
Motion by Mr. Skidmore, second by Ms. Waltman, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item K5.
time.
Sir?
What time we want to meet?
Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry.
We normally
That's
meet
right.
at 8:30. 8:30 is when we normally meet.
8:30.
You still have to meet that time requirement, Dr. Jefferson, so we'll still do our same time.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, we had Mr. Skidmore, he didn't know, make sure he knows
Oh,
the
yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
And so who will be feeding us that day? Do we know yet?
I'll work out something good for you, I promise.
Mr. Price and Mr. Jefferson them grills, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll work something out good that day.
All right. Did we vote on it? I'm sorry, I got off track. We did
Yes,
not.
ma'am, we did.
We did, okay. 8:30, the 30th, okay. Item K5, rescinding of action taken at the November 18, 2019 regular board meeting concerning student uniforms at QHS. Can we have a motion? Anybody? Can we have a motion with discuss? K5.
I'll make the
Without a mo-
motion.
Okay, who is that?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Price, motion by Mr. Price,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Skidmore. Now can we, there's floor is open for discussion if there's any.
We rescinding that because of the better it got since Dr.
Savage.
Savage.
got back. To what extent do we feel comfortable with what he has done as far as change in that aspect?
Mr. Skidmore, part of it was that reason, and part of it was because of this virus, and just didn't want to put a lot on the parents right now. Was my part of my thinking. I got, reports and saw that it was improved. Other than
Me personally, I was against the uniforms simply because you can abuse a uniform just like you can any other clothing. Just a stricter and a more corporal punishment type deal on that would have satisfied me in that aspect of it, simply because I've been in the district for a number of years driving a school bus. I did see the uniforms abused as much as any other clothing. So that's the reason I second this motion, simply because the putting the burden and the strain on financially on parents right now, when it would be unnecessary if we could just make sure that we stood our ground with our policies.
yes, sir.
And to address, I do feel comfortable with with what Dr. Savage implemented with his faculty, and we're going to ensure that that remains in place and that we follow policy. So you all sent a message. I don't think your intent was not to send a message, but I think kids understand now better what our expectations are. So I feel comfortable, and I think they'll be appreciative of you giving them another opportunity.
I think we need to emphasize to the students that there's a reason that we want them to dress well. It's not that we're wanting to be the uniform Nazis or anything, but we would like them to present themselves, as students, potential employees, etc.
Absolutely. We will do that.
Okay, well, another thing that come out, and I think this may have been from some of the P16 feedback was, and I'm not picking on anybody because I don't know any specifics, that our staff and our teachers also adhere to their policy as far as dress code. So you know what, once you open up the boxes and well, so-and-so is doing this over there. So I think everybody that has had a comment is just basically saying if everybody just follows the policy and our administrators and our parents have a role in this also.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
sign off. So that's all we want. You know, we would just, if they would just follow the policy, we'll be good.
All right, we
Okay.
will take care of that.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, if not, now, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Item K6, approval to seek bids for projects, re-roofing the Quitman High School auditorium, canopy for the bus lane at the Quitman Lower Elementary, and interactive panels for teacher classrooms. Was that what we just talked about earlier?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. You approved to move the money. Now we need approval to go and get bids for.
Okay. Can I have a motion to do that?
I make a motion that we approve to seek bids for those projects.
Second the motion.
Motion by Ms. Waltman, second by Dr. Jefferson. All in favor?
Hold on, let's discuss this.
Any
Oh, I
discussion?
Okay, open for discussion.
Canopy for the bus lane. for
Write that down.
How will that, how is that gonna lay out on that? I haven't seen any layout on that.
What it'll do, it'll run right up from that sidewalk, and it'll be enough where we can unload 4 buses at a time. That way, when kids get off the bus, they'll get off under that canopy when it's raining. Right now, there's nothing out there, you know, teachers out there with umbrellas, so it'll butt up against the canopy that comes from lower all the way in the building. It'll cover right there where the buses unload, and it'll be high enough to where the bus can pull up to it. And when you open your door, you'll step off right up under that canopy and you'll be covered.
Okay, all right.
You know, right now, we can only do 1 bus at a time. Well, you know, Mr. Skidmore, you've been there.
That's right.
One bus at a time, and the teachers out there getting wet with umbrellas. So with this, we'll be able to do 4 at a time.
Can I make another suggestion?
Yes, sir.
While we doing that canopy at the high school,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
there's a canopy there that goes across from the cafeteria area to the gym. And there's only one section of that canopy that's accessible for a bus to run under.
Yes,
I
sir.
actually drove under the lower side and tore the top of a bus off. Can we raise that section as well?
Yes, I can look into that. What I'll do is I'll have Joseph look into it and bring you back some prices. I'll have Ms. Johnson to check and see if we can do it. I think that's a great idea. I'll bring you back some prices and Ms. Johnson will see if we can do it and we'll bring it back to you.
Thank you.
And so, Mr. Skidmore, how much money yours for that? You say you tore up?
At that time, Workman's Comp covered it.
Okay, see, you didn't, okay, thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item K7, approval to temporarily suspend board policy ICHI, literacy-based promotion. Everybody remember what that was or read it?
And I'll explain it when we get to discussion, Ms. McCormick. after we have a
I
motion.
make a motion.
Motion by Dr. Jefferson,
Second.
second by Mr. Price. Mr. Price, okay, all in favor? No, no,
Discussion.
discussion,
There you go.
I'm getting it.
What this is,
Any
board members, the
discussion?
State Board of Education voted to change process standard 20, the 3rd grade reading gate, basically exempting all kids from that 3rd grade reading gate. And if they pass the 3rd grade, then they can move on. They won't have to take that test this year.
Okay. All right, any further discussion?
Do you think this will not just for us, but will cause problems down the road? Somebody doesn't pass it next year, they'll say, well, last year they didn't have to pass it. Do you think this will have an effect,
No.
on us even having that reading gate?
No, ma'am, we had this same thing during Katrina and it was not an issue,
You
so.
didn't have, okay, I just was wondering if there'd be
Yeah.
problems down the road.
No, ma'am, no. No, the state board changed this, so it's not like we're doing it and they, yeah, we're good.
Okay. Okay. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Item K8, amendment to the grading / promotion retention section in the 2019-2020 elementary and secondary handbooks. And I went through that. I think I understand it, but since the governor has made his decision today, we should be good, I guess.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. And I'll explain this one.
Okay, can we have a motion for the amendment of the grading and promotion retention section?
I make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Skidmore, second by Ms. Waltman. Any discussion?
All right,
Holloway, you
so-
have something?
Yes, ma'am. We had to send this in to MDE so they can monitor what we're doing and got some good feedback. They suspended the grading and promotion retention requirements. So our principals and teachers came up with how we would assign grades to end out the school year. And if you've got any specific questions after this, or if there are any other concerns, just let us know. This probably won't make everybody happy, but this is very similar to what districts around us are doing and districts in the other parts of the state are doing. I've shared it with some superintendents and we're all kind of on the same page and doing the same things as, again, most other districts across the state and in our area are doing.
So this is something that the state Board of Education didn't hand down on. They left it up to the individual districts.
Yes, sir. They told us to come up with how we would handle promotion and retention and giving out grades. At that same board meeting where they rescinded the requirements for graduation, third grade reading gate and all that stuff. This was one of the things that we had to come up with and our principals and teachers put this together soon after that meeting. So like I said, it's aligned pretty good with what everybody else is doing.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Item L, reports and discussions. Item 1 is discussion of revision to section J that requires no action. And item L2, review policies in section D. And that is just stuff we'll review for our next meeting in May. So there's no action there. Item L3, review data for goal 5 of the district strategic plan. I didn't say that right. Dr. Holloway, was that, we got the packet. Everybody got the packet.
It was updated as well. I did get that information, Ms. McCormick, by sport and by club, the numbers. Coach Coleman sent that in, so you all have that. And I did get the numbers added to the graphs. So if you got any questions about the updated info, I can try and answer them. And if I can't answer them, I'll get back to you, get the information, answer back to you tomorrow.
Anybody have any questions for Dr. Holloway? I've asked mine, I think already.
Yeah.
We need to make a motion first.
No, this is just information. We don't have to do any action on this.
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
And maybe I should have read something, but on this, it says 52% student participation.
Mm-hmm.
Does that individual or could this be overlap? Like if you have
No,
so
it's individual. I'm glad you asked that, Ms. Waltman. He went back and we had a kid who plays football, basketball, and baseball. He
That's
took
just-
them out of basketball and baseball when he calculated the 52%.
okay,
Good
So that's-
question.
that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion on that? Okay, if not, we'll move to item L4, junior high, TSI and ATSI school improvement report.
And
We saw
if-
those.
Ms. McCormick, would the federal government rolled back those requirements. We won't have to do this the next 2 months, but next year, because they suspended it this year, there's no impact. They do a 3-year average to determine if you're on that TSI and ATSI. So we will have to remain on it for another year. And these updates will start back in August along with the P16 as well.
Okay. All right. All right, and the same for the upper, I guess?
Yeah, yes,
Item
sir.
5.
Same thing. Because we didn't test, that doesn't change that 3-year average. So we'll have to carry that. Even though it doesn't show what we are, we have to carry that title for 1 more year.
Oh, okay. Okay. L6 superintendent's report. Dr.
All
Holloway?
right, several things going here. We're feeding about 200 kids per day. So thank you. We have folks bringing church vans and everything. So if you would continue to get the word out, Ms. Goff has done a good job of getting that word out. And we will continue that until the end of the school year. As of right now, we'll keep it, unless our cases get higher, then we may cut back. But if they stay right where they are about now, I think we're safe without people handing out those meals. Work is going out. They just sent out, I think last week, they sent out 3 weeks of worth of work. We're handing out 92 Chromebooks. John and Matt and Antoine have been getting Chromebooks out, helping us get Chromebooks out. And that was available to anybody who needed one. We've also been discussing plans for summer remediation, which we're gonna need to do for some of our kids. And I'm having a meeting with the principals tomorrow to lay out some other things that we need to take care of and start planning for, because kids are gonna miss about 2 months worth of school, and we need to get them back as quick as possible and start remediating and preparing for next year. We're gonna start those plans. Case 21 is giving us a free pre-assessment. So when our kids do come back in August, we can give them an assessment and see where they are, what they've forgotten and things like that. It'll give us some information to start for the next school year. So they're doing that for free, and we'll still get our normal 3 that we do throughout the year. Ms. Goff has been working with our principals, staying connected with their students and teachers, just giving updates and saying hey and things like that. I don't know if you've seen, our students are also doing videos, reading books to give parents a break on our YouTube channel. So again, thanks to Ms. Goff and everything and our kids and everything they're doing with that. Dr. Dace, Ms. Johnson and I listened to a webinar from MDE today about the CARES Act, which is the federal government is going to give us some more money to help with this situation. Dr. Dace calculated it, and if it's what they say it is, we could be getting possibly $500,000 to help do things in our district for kids. And we've got some ideas, and we're going to talk to principals about that, about helping our kids get one-to-one, and for people who live way out, buying some portable hotspots so they can try and get internet and things like that to help our kids out who live in our very rural areas. Let's see. And Joseph is getting started on some other projects since we're going to be out for the rest of the semester, replacing doors at the junior high and upper that desperately needed it. We're getting those digital radios for the buses. We've got some HVAC at upper 5 classrooms that Joseph and his guys can do. We don't have to get anybody else to do it. They're gonna do that work. And then we're trying to find somebody to fix that driveway problem at the technology center. I think y'all remember at the last walkthrough, we saw where it floods at up there. It's hard to find somebody. And if you know anybody that does that kind of work, we're open to find somebody, but we need to replace that driveway and we can't find anybody to do it. So he and the guys and everybody else is coming in 3 days a week, and we're kind of in summer prep mode early, which is going to give us some time to do some extra things. So that's kind of what we've got going right now. Any questions about any of that? I know I gave a lot and fast. Any questions about any of that?
Dr. Holloway, this may be needing to be discussed in a meeting. the track area, the walking track behind the elementary school. And I do know that we're partners in that with the county as well. Are we partners in that with Pat Harris as well?
We paid to lease the land. We gotta cut that grass back there. I do know that. I saw that today when I was riding around, checking on everything. We gotta cut the grass, but I don't think the county has any responsibility in it. They helped get it started, but I couldn't find anything on them helping to maintain it.
Can we take those wooden, I guess you'd call it a stage, and that wooden
Yeah.
gazebo down? It is very, it's very dangerous. I actually went back there today just to look at those items. People have come since they've closed some of these parks in this, all the parks in the city. There's been a few more people walking back there. I have heard a lot of negativity about the way that that looks. I went and looked myself. That platform stage area right there on the water is in terrible condition. You actually have some exposed nails on the gazebo that is also a dangerous situation for kids who may be running up or playing and things like that while their parents are walking.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to try to repair those. I'm sorry. I know some people may want them there, but it's going to be something that is going to be something that's going to require a lot of maintenance yearly. And I'm for personally taking it out, taking it down, and starting a fire with it, if nothing else, just burning it right there and be done with it.
But I'm glad you said that, Mr. Skidmore. One of the things I've been wanting to do is build an outdoor classroom, and I think that'll be a prime spot for it. So our teachers can take their class back there, even if it's from up or to high school. We can build just little wood benches and things like that that are small, so teachers can take classes out there for science. So
I would lean more to a bench that's made like a aluminum
yes,
aluminum seat more than I would wood. It'll be there a lot longer,
yes,
and
sir.
it really require a lot of maintenance.
That's exactly what we were gonna do. I was gonna talk to Joseph and his crew about what they could do. We can definitely take it down, and then we'll start looking at, like I said, I'd love for an outdoor classroom to be out there. Like I said, teachers can take their science classes out there and do different things. And it's definitely gonna be something that's not high maintenance like wood benches, yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Price is missing. Anybody notice that?
Yeah.
Where's he at?
I still see him.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't see him. Okay. I'm sorry, he was going from my screen.
All right, that's all I have, Ms.
Okay.
McCormick, unless
I apologize,
somebody,
I just don't see it.
that's all I have unless anybody else has any questions.
I was just, and I know it's hard to make an update on this because we just got what we got from the governor. Any plans for the seniors? I know everything's gonna have to be modified or.
Yeah, we're waiting to see when they ease those restrictions. And as soon as they're eased, I don't care if it's in August, we're going to do something for graduation for seniors. As soon as those restrictions are eased, then when they announce a date, we will plan a date.
Okay. Okay.
And Dr. Holloway,
Yes, sir.
currently on the agenda, we're showing May 22nd for the graduation. We don't know if that'll take place or not. But traditionally, there's been a short meeting by the board prior to that to take care of any items that might come up. So I'm just reminding you about that. And whenever that's scheduled, you may want to consider a brief meeting prior to it.
Gotcha, okay. All right.
All righty. Any other questions of Dr. Holloway? Okay, if not, item M is just information, and you looked at everybody's reports from the schools. And that other information is questionable, you know. So we'll have to be adjusted as that. Okay, well, that is all that's on our agenda. At this time, can we have a motion to determine the need for executive session?
I make a motion, we go into closed session to determine the need for executive session.
Purpose of that would be to discuss personnel.
Personnel. Yes, sir.
All right. Did we get a second, Ms. McCormick?
I didn't hear who it was. I didn't hear Waltman. Who second?
I
Yeah.
second it.
Right?
Mr. Jefferson, a motion by Ms. Waltman, second by Dr. Jefferson, that we determine the need for a closed session, closed executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I just wanted to make this statement for those viewing on YouTube. Our executive sessions are governed by the Open Meetings Act, and they are not privileged to public attendance. And we have to cut the live stream just so our viewers know that we are required by law to not publicize or executive sessions are not open for the public.
Right.
All right, board members, I'll send you another invitation very shortly for another Zoom call, and it won't be on YouTube.
Okay.
And
Thank you, everybody.
Dr. Holloway,
Yes, sir.
anybody that's not needed for that executive session will need to absent themselves from the boardroom.
Yeah, I knew that. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break.